Today we're going to talk about April Fool's Day, so basically the joke's on all of us.
Pain has a face. Allow me to show it to you.
Alright, what's up gang? I'm Eric Hess and welcome to the Twitch. Let me see if I can say it faster. Let's see how fast I can say that. Because I say it every time. Here we go. What's up gang? Welcome to the Twitch. What's up everybody? Welcome to the Twitch. Let me say it. Wait, hold on, I'm going to mix it up a little bit. What's up everybody? I'm Eric Hess. Welcome to the Twitch. Alright, so anyway, we're going to fucking talk about some shitty wannabe slasher from the 1980s called April the 13th. I mean, April Fool's Day.
Cordially invites you to a party to end all parties.
The craziest party that could ever be. Don't turn on the lights, cause I don't want to see.
April Fool.
Welcome to my home and lifestyles of the rich and undeserving. Roland.
Cheers.
Join 8 privileged guests who are just dying to have fun.
Wow, what is this, the bridal suite? You like it?
The ladies,
I find a use for it.
the gentlemen,
We did on the first date.
the young,
Well, basically, I possess an essential lack of seriousness.
and the restless.
You are such a jerk.
Everyone is having such a good time. It's scary.
Is something wrong?
Radio is blasting, someone's knocking at the door. I've seen so many things I ain't never seen. But know what it is, I don't want to see no more.
April Fool's Day. Get ready to party till you drop. Rated R. Starts Thursday, March 27th at a theater near you.
Alright, so April Fool's Day came out in 1986 and was directed by Fred Walton, who was also the guy that directed the When a Stranger Calls movies. This movie stars Amy Steele, the lovely Deborah Foreman, and Biff!
Welcome to my home. I fuck on the first date. Didn't we? We did on the first date. Let's hide the sausage.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, of course not.
The plot of this fucking movie is, well, we've got a bunch of college kids going off on some kind of weekend retreat to an island. They were invited there by their friend Muffy to come and have some kind of celebration, some kind of a party. I don't know why exactly they're gathering there, but they are. And apparently it's April Fool's Day, so of course, you know, tricks and gags abound. So April Fool's Day came out at the height of the slasher craze in the 80s, more specifically at the height of the holiday slasher craze, which I guess was ignited by such films like Halloween and Friday the 13th. Apparently, people were like, oh, those movies made money. Let's fucking exploit every holiday there is. What's left? April Fool's Day? Fuck it. Fuck it, make that a movie. But there's money to be made here, goddammit. There's gold in them there hills. So let's talk about how badly this movie wants to be a Friday the 13th, and I mean fucking badly. Let's just go right down the list. First of all, it's a Paramount picture. We all know Paramount owned Friday the 13th in the 80s. This was their cash cow. It was produced by Frank Mancuso Jr., who was the producer on a bunch of the other Friday the 13th movies. It stars Amy Steele, who you would remember from Friday 2. There's even some similarities there, like how in Friday 2 she's late to the camp at the beginning of the movie and then her boyfriend's like a little angry with her, right? So in this movie, they reversed it. Now her boyfriend's late at the beginning of the movie and she's a little upset or whatever. They're straight up ripping off Friday. Of course, we've got you got your wooded area by a lake. Gotta have that for a Friday the 13th ripoff. We've got your crazy house, right? The house that is decorated strange, doesn't look like a place where like young people would go to party, but for some reason in these movies, specifically like movies like Friday 3 and Friday the 13th 4, they go to these places to party and it looks like weird and old-fashioned, like they don't belong there. I don't know why this is a thing in slasher movies, I really don't, but there it is. What else is... Oh yeah, they even ripped off like the hot dog gag from Friday 2. In Friday 2, like they show the dog... What's the dog's name in that movie? Was it Muffin or Muffy? Could it have been Muffy? I think it's Muffin. But anyway, the dog in Friday 2, they show the dog like walk up to Jason, and then they cut to hot dogs. You know, a big joke. Yeah, you know, it's funny. And they do that shit again in this movie where I think they're talking about sex or something, and then they cut to a scene with a fucking wiener. They just straight ripping off Friday 2 left and right. Oh, yes. So anyway, let's get into this fucking train wreck here. And, yeah. Basically, this movie is a big fuck you to the audience. It is. That's what this fucking movie is. I know it has a fan base out there. It's a small fan base, but it does. You know, it looks great. I mean, it looks like a real movie. It's made by Paramount. They got enough money to throw at this to make it look good, but it doesn't function like a movie. Because it's a joke. And first of all, why did they call it April Fool's Day? That gives it away, like, right at the title, right? As soon as I fucking, like, oh, it's called April Fool's Day, I already know the twist is that it's gonna be a big joke, and none of it ever happened. It's a big fucking joke on all of us. Yeah, yay, thanks a lot, Paramount. Alright, anyway. Okay, so, what's going on with this movie? First of all, like I said, yeah, I guess I'll say this now, spoilers. I already fucking spoiled the movie. Fuck it. They spoiled their own movie when they called it April Fool's Day. There's even a line in the movie where Muffy's talking about this whole setup was a rehearsal for a weekend getaway she wants to make money, where it's a mystery or a kind of like a being in a horror movie, being in a horror mystery, and you get to live it out, whatever. Anyway, she says she's gonna call it, what is it? Let me see. Weekend Special. Why didn't they call the movie Weekend Special? Fucking better title, first of all, and it doesn't give away that it's a big joke. That it's gonna be like, oh, nobody really got killed at the end, and whatever. So this movie, it has like zero rewatch value because like I enjoyed it the first watch, you know, some. I did a little bit. I was like, all right, yeah, okay. But after watching it a few times, like, you can't watch this movie more than once. Once you know what the big twist is, and then you go back and you watch the movie again, all you see is all these inconsistencies, all these plot holes, all this bullshit that does not add up. And so what this means is, in the end, there's no actual kills in this movie, right? Because it was all a big joke. You don't even get to see any. You kind of get to see like. Again, you don't get to see any kills. Like, in the beginning, there's a part where the guy gets a fucking knife in him, but then they immediately reveal, like, oh, it was just a big joke. We played a joke on you, so that's not one. And then the next thing they show is a guy getting his face all fucked up by a boat accident. And then in the end, that's revealed, of course, that was a joke. So, ultimately, there's no kills. And for the rest of the movie, anytime you think there's gonna be, they just cut away. So, what this means is, this is essentially like a PG slasher movie. I guess they probably curse. There's some sexual activity, no nudity though. But yeah, there's no kills or nothing. There's hardly any gore because it's not real. It's not meant to be real in the movie. So yeah, it's a PG slasher and it's lame. It has no rewatch value. It's fucking hell, dude. Now, so I said, when you go back and you watch it again, then you start looking for all the things. Like, okay, so if it was all a big joke, then how did they do this? How did they do that? How did they get away with this? Blah, 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 blah. So these people, there's some people that are in on it, Sully. The group that gets gathered there, they're not really in on it until a certain point when supposedly it's their death scene. And then after that, I guess, then they're like, oh, I'll play dead, you know, to go along with the joke now that I know it's a joke. And we'll get the rest of them. But there's other characters like the sheriff and the ferryman who are playing along. Now, okay, the sheriff, right? There's a point in the movie where he calls them from a hospital and he's warning them about Muffy. And then they show us this, him in the hallway of a hospital talking on the phone. But if he's playing along with the joke and he's just over the phone, why is he actually at the hospital? He's like, I'm at the hospital with the guy from the boat accident and blah, blah, blah. But none of that was real. It's all a big joke. Why is he actually at the hospital? He doesn't need to be there. He's over the phone. He could have done that from anywhere. He could have been sitting in his house in his fucking underwear going, yeah, I'm at the hospital right now. They wouldn't have known. But, of course, it had to have been filmed in a hospital in order to trick us, the audience. But still, it's just full of that stuff, BS that doesn't add up upon rewatch. The characters are probably the most enjoyable thing about the movie, but even that is stretching it because they do wear thin fucking quickly. Like, we get it. They're fucking wacky, fun characters, okay. And I like that. Again, that's another way that they're just trying to fucking mirror Friday the 13th. And I do like that about slasher movies. Fun characters having a fun time partying it up, and then getting knocked off. But these people, they take it too far. It gets a little bit too like, okay, all right, we get it. You guys are fucking wacky. All right, moving on. So at the end of the movie, of course, you got to have your final jump scare twist or whatever at the end. And it's this, Muffy goes in a room, she's doing a little jack-in-the-box thing, and then somebody comes up and slits her throat. Oh, it turns out it was just a big joke. Yeah, it was a fake knife, whatever. No shit, it was just a big joke. Everybody could have seen that coming, because the whole fucking movie has been a big joke. What would have been awesome is if somebody had popped up and just slit her throat, and that was real, and that's how they ended the movie. If that was how they ended this fucking movie, I would be like, all right, not too bad. With that said, apparently according to the novelization of this fucking movie, it actually does sort of end like that. Right where this movie stops, the novelization keeps going. And, everybody finds out it was all a big joke, ha ha ha, whatever. And then it turns out there really is a killer. It's Muffy's brother wants to kill her in order to inherit the house. And that happens in the novelization. Not in this movie, though. Apparently, Paramount wanted to end the movie on a high note instead of, everybody actually getting killed. But, shit, I don't know. Maybe I would have preferred that. At least I would have gotten to see some real kills. Yeah. I think it would have been better. There's actually another movie that was originally titled April Fool's Day, and they had to change the name to Slaughter High because they found out, Paramount's making an April Fool's Day movie. We got to change our name, so we can't compete with them, and we don't want to confuse people. And there might even be some kind of legal issues there. I'm not sure. But Slaughter High, it's fucking corny. At least the kills look good and are real. By real, I mean, within the context of the movie. Fuck, I should have just watched Slaughter High instead. Oh, and the best part, you know what the best part of this whole stupid fucking movie is? Is when Amy Still grabs a handful of cack. She does, dude. She grabs it. Oh, sorry. I'm like a stupid little 13-year-old right now. I'm just giggling about the... Alright, so let's begin to wrap this sucker up because I don't want to spend too much time on this movie. Now, first of all, I need to say that there's actually a decent chance that Deborah Foreman might watch this. And sorry, I still love you, but this movie just made a joke out of its audience. Nobody really likes to be the butt of a joke. And that's really the problem here is April Fool's Day jokes are... They're typically not fun for the victim. Fun for the perpetrator, yeah, they get a good laugh out of it, but the victim is like, oh, yeah, thanks for making a fool out of me or whatever. Thanks for embarrassing me. It's typically not fun for the victim, and this movie plays a joke on its audience and makes us the victim of its joke, and it's not really enjoyable to be the butt of a joke. I don't know. I can't even imagine the people that must have went to see this back in the day and paid money and then the whole thing was not real, nothing really happened. I'd have been fucking pissed. So this movie is This movie is the cinematic equivalent of a whoopee cushion. That's what it is. It's really what it is. Let's fucking rate it. So I'm gonna give it a 1.5. I know it's a real low rating. Like I said, the first time I watched it, I found it enjoyable enough, but upon rewatch, just no. I was gonna give it a higher rating, but after watching it a bunch of times, I'm just like, ugh. 1.5. I know it's a real low rating, but it's not a real slasher. It's a pseudo slasher. This is a PG pseudo slasher movie. Fuck this shit. I'm out. I need to have an outtake. Fuck, it's hot. Oh, there it is. There's my outtake. Right there. Right there. Nah. No reason at all.